Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with a quick response video to lawnboyspost1975's video earlier in the week on the first game you ever played, What's Yours, was his title. Now his stipulation was, it's not something you play at your friend's house or played at school or at the arcade or anything like that. He's talking about the first game that you played on a system at home. Well, I tell you that's what his intention was. Now, my very first system, so I didn't own an Atari 2600 at home or in television. They were all at neighbours and friends and things like that. I didn't have my ColecoVision until later. The very first machine that I had at home, which I sold my Lego and my Fisher Technics and my Meccano and my train set, and then got the rest of the money off my father, so we sort of went halves, with me with slightly more money than him, and that's about all. With a machine that I'd seen in a shop called Walsh's, which was a stationer's shop, and upstairs near all their calculators and everything like that, because I was into science and everything like that, so I'd been in there and seen the TI calculators, and they had this computer called the TI-99. And it was a great flash little machine, and they had this game in it called Parsec, which was a fantastic game, and it had speech with a speech synthesizer on the side, and I used to go into every time a chance I got when I went into town I'd go in there and I'd play the Parsec game. So later on I encountered a friend who was selling one second hand, because I couldn't afford to buy one new at this stage. So that's when I sold all my stuff, advertised it in the paper, whatever, I can't remember exactly how I sold it. Got as much money together as possible, and my father chipped in the rest of the money, and went and picked up the system. And it was TI-99.4, and it was supposed to come with the extended basic, but it didn't. He sort of forgot to give that to me, which is something that I regretted for a long time afterwards. But it did come with one game, and it was TI Invaders. Sorry, I've got it here. I mean, this isn't my one, because unfortunately I sold that system to get my next one, because it's the only way I could get the money. But there's TI Invaders. So the TI boxes came in a thing like that, really annoying for sitting sideways on shelves. Is to sit out here, and the manual formed part of, so a generic outer box, and the manual forms the box front. And they have a plastic tray. Oops. And there's the cartridge. And they've got an interesting form factor, and they slot into the front of the unit on the right hand side. I've got some interesting pictures and some other video for you while I've been doing this. So this was the first game I played. My father used to love this game as well, and we played it to death. And I do believe we got to the very last level but never quite finished it. So it's probably a challenge that I should take up at some stage, a bit of a nostalgia trip. And you forget at how good the TI was, because it was quite early that the TI came out in this thing, so the power of the machine. And the main chip, the main processor that is in the TI, went on to be the graphics, the second processor in the Coleco, the Spectra Video, the MSX, and all those computers based on that Z80A TI 9918 pairing. Except the TI obviously didn't have to cope with the communication between the two processors, so everything was on a processor, but it wasn't very fast, but could still access the reasonably colourful graphics that those later machines could use. So with clever programming, most games could be made to look quite nice, although did suffer from a little bit of slowdown. But there are actually some very good games for the TI. I don't have many games for the TI, and it's one of the things that I would like at some stage to do, is to get more games for it. But anyway, here's a quick play demo of TI Invaders, and make sure you check out Lawnboy Post's channel if you're not already subscribed, and I'll put a link to his original video, and I'll catch you next time. Right, here we go with the first video game that I played at home on my own equipment that got me into video gaming. Now, it wasn't the game that I looked at when I first looked at this computer, but it was the game that I got with it when I bought this particular one. thought I'd show the loading screen there. And it's TI Invaders. Now you've actually got two options, melee aggressive or downright nasty. We'll go for melee aggressive because I haven't played this for a little while. Just turn the volume up a little bit. Okay. And as you can see, it's actually quite a nice looking version of Space Invaders. You know, with a little bit of colour. Not all of the Space Invaders are the same. It has your UFO that comes over the top, and depending on where you hit the UFO, it depends on the points you get. Also has the little base storage area down the bottom. And this is actually quite impressive for this machine back in the day. I mean, you're talking very, you know, not long after the Atari 2600 came out. Oh, perfect score, 300. And this processor, the main processor in this machine, is the processor that ended up being the graphics processor in the Spectre Video and MSX machines, and the ColecoVision. So if I can get to the end of the level. Using my shields here for a bit of. As you can see, they don't mind raining down a bit of destruction on you. Now, and it also, you know, to just make it a bit more interesting, it has this intermediate stage where you get to shoot the saucer, and every time you shoot it, it gets a little higher, smaller, oops, and faster. And then you go on to the next stage. Now I'm just going to get through a couple of screens because I want to show you the other feature of this game. And this game holds particular memories because my father used to absolutely love this game. And there would be stages where my mother would ask, where is your father? And you would find him in the study on the TI playing TI Invaders. Right, just clear the end of this stage. And a good test of a Space Invaders is whether it gives you that frantic feel you get at the end of the level with the speed. I'll try not to mess up so much this time. I'm obviously out of practice. And here we go. Now every second stage you have a new type of enemy. And it just keeps the you know, the interest going in the game to see what the next type of you know, alien's going to be. Alright, I might as well show you what happens when you die. Come on, somebody shoot me. Of course, when you want to get shot, there we go. I get taken down and the broken one gets taken and you get a new one from underneath in the bunker. It's just subtle little touches to, you know, make a classic game even more interesting. Alright, hope you've enjoyed this little walkthrough of my very first video game.